evening. Good evening. Happy Majestic Monday. Come on over, Boston. The cats are already coming on over. Welcome back. Happy Tarot Monday. Hi, Christy. Hi, Kathy. Kathy, you can't see, but Boston is just off camera. Victoria, hi. And then there is Hunter, sleeping like the little baby that he is. Welcome, you guys. Oh, welcome. Welcome back. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Lisa. Oh my gosh, I feel like a knuckle crack coming on. Victoria, are you feeling those knuckle cracks with me? Bless this room. Hi, Lisa. Oh my God, it's so good to see you again, Lisa. Some of you guys I'm seeing again for the first time in a long, long time. Welcome back. Oh my God, you guys are the best. Bless this room. As you might be able to see, we have some sage going for you. We're smudging you with some sage mixed also with, we've got a lot in here, actually. This is an herbal blend that I'll be putting up for you guys. It's sage, lavender, spearmint, damiana, and mugwort. So that's what's going across your screen right now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Victoria just cracked her knuckles before coming on. She's back. Scary. And I've been driving past Linden Street a lot. Interesting stuff. Hi, Lori. My cousin Lori is here. Blessed be all of you guys. It's so good to have you guys here. I'm going to play a nice cleansing. We called this the healing bell, the bell bowl. So let's get some breaths for you guys. I'm so happy to see my family's here. My spirit family is here. Ready to get some messages brought through. Very exciting. It's really, really good to have you guys back, and it's really good to be back as well. So I hope everybody chose their card, and if not, I'm going to give you guys a chance one more time to take a look and see what's resonating with you. So card number 1 tonight was held represented by this citrine. And this was card number 1. The citrine's been used a couple of times before, and that one is card number 1. If it's calling to you, then that is your card. Card number 2 this evening was represented by this beautiful selenite ball, and it's actually half of a ball, but it really presents well and it serves really well. Also, selenite we'll be talking about a little bit later, actually after the read. If for those of you who want to stick around after the read, we're going to talk a little bit about selenite because we're talking about spiritual protection and how to build your aura as well. So if that one called to you, then card number 2 is your card. And I'll let you guys know, a lot of people were called to card number 2. So as they were also called, many of you all, to card number 3, which was represented by this rose quartz wand. So if you're just tuning in and you haven't chosen yet, you now can choose which of those cards resonated with you. If you want to, you can feel free to share which one is your card, and then you can sync up with other individuals in the room who also chose your card. Maria Christina, welcome to the room, Maria Christina. I know a lot of us chose card number 1 was not as popular as 2 and 3. So for whatever reason, everybody was really feeling the selenite and the rose quartz today. So I'm loving that. Before we get going, yay, so Maria Christina chose 2. I want to say that 2 might have been the more popular. And for those of you who have been following these lives for the last couple of weeks, wait until you see this reveal. I probably should have left this as a teaser in my story because this reveal is going to be epic. Because I'll give you guys a sneak peek as to why. We have repeat cards again. So if you are a repeat viewer and you've been coming to these shows and you've already had repeating cards in the past, I'm just going to let you know that it might be the case tonight that you will have another repeating card. And in tarot, those of us who do tarot, like I know Maria Christina does, oh yes, and your card was number 2 and Christy's number 3. So those of us who do tarot know that repeating cards are really a nice affirmation that this message is definitely for you. And it really is meant to hit home, and it might be something that you're meant to be working on for a longer amount of time. So, and Lisa wants card number 2. So without any further ado, I'm going to have us take a breath, blow out any blocks that we might have right now to receiving these messages. The room has already been blessed, but once we get breathing, you guys are really going to start to feel that you're sitting with spirit. Thanks, Victoria. And we're going to get your guys' messages brought through, and I'm super excited for that. So, wherever you are, seated or standing, find your tailbone in your mind's eye and feel it glittering with healing white light. This is the white light that is the energy of the universe, and we're made up of this glittering stardust. So find that imagination center in your third eye and find your column of your spinal column here. At the bottom, curled under, is that glittering white light tailbone. So let that kind of sit there. Let it sit in. Let the healing energy of the universe start to build in your tailbone. And then on this next breath, we're going to draw that energy all the way up into your body, pushing out any blocks with the exhalation. And when you breathe it out, blow into the smoke you see in front of your screen. And then end the breath with a cheek lift. That's what Victoria says. It's true. And yes, it is so, Maria Christina, she receives. Wherever you are, seated or standing, glittering white light at the base of your spine. Inhale through the nose. Feel that healing, glittering white light going all the way up, filling your chest, pulling anything that you don't need or you don't want, and breathe it out through this breath. Exhale all the way down. Into. End it like a dragon, breathing fire. With a cheek lift. If you do no other exercise today, let me do your cheek lifts with you. So let's just do one set of 5 cheek lifts. Victor, I want you to do these cheek lifts with us too. So this is how you do it. You lift your cheeks. 1. Makes me want to smile. 2. You guys are lifting your cheeks out there, right? 3. 2 more cheek lifts. 2 more. And last cheek lift. 1. And I bet your cheeks are going to stay up for the rest of this video, or at least your heart will. Nice cheek lifts, everybody. And we've taken our breath. We've blown out all of our blocks. And now we are ready to do the read card number 1. Card number 1 was for those of you who chose citrine. And those of you who chose citrine have chosen the Knight of Wands, slippery little suckers, upside down. So drop an emoji in the comment section if you were one of the few who chose card number 1, which was represented by the citrine. This one came through upside down today. That was our Knight of Wands. So the herb that's represented, I'm giggling because this is a poisonous herb and it came through upside down. So heed this warning, those of you who chose card number 1, because aconite is your herb. Upside down, Knight of Wands. Did I say King of Wands? It's the Knight of Wands. So this is a poisonous herb, as I mentioned. It must be used only in a special detoxified form, which is available at Chinese pharmacies or in minute homeopathic doses. So this is something that's obviously highly concentrated, okay? It's a metabolic stimulant, excellent for low metabolism, coldness, arthritic, and rheumatic complaints. So this one came through reversed for you guys who chose card number 1, like I mentioned. So the reverse meaning for this is impetuousness, rushing into things too quickly. This seems like a pretty straightforward message to me. For those of you who chose card number 1 today, if there is a decision that you are faced with making right now, it would really serve you to sit back, take your time, and think about making this decision, and possibly even looking into getting some advice from somebody who you trust about this. So watch out for the impetuousness. Don't rush into making decisions right now. Right now, the moon is waning, so it's a good time to just kind of rest and recover from all of the energy that the full moon brought, and not necessarily make any harsh decisions. Like, we're still really, really close to the full moon right now. So as we start to kind of pull back toward the new moon, is going to level your head a little bit more. I don't know if anybody else, go ahead and drop an emoji if you were feeling a little bit crazy this week. It was the full moon. I know that I definitely had some incidences with individuals who were seeming to experience the pull. So the message that I have coming through for those of you who chose card number 1 is just really make sure that you sit on these decisions. Don't make any big decisions right now. If you have the time, don't turn in your assignment early. Go over it, check it again, proofread it. If you've got a little bit more time on the clock, use it. That message for you. Card number 1 choosers. Thank you so much for choosing card number 1. Please have a drink of water. Hi, Yvonne. I don't think you had card number 1, right? Your card is still coming up. Oh, the energy, Victoria. You said it, Tootsie Pop. Card number 2, excuse me. Card number 2, represented by the selenite ball. This was probably the most popular of all of the cards chosen today. This one was a hot ticket, and it is a big card. I peeked because I had a friend who was going out of town, so I let him do his read early. And so I peeked at this card already, and I happen to know not only is card number 2 a big card, part of the major arcana, it's also a repeat card. So this is our first repeat card that we have this week. So card number 2 choosers, indicated by the selenite, card number 2 was Garlic, the Tower. You guys chose the Tower. So if you know tarot, you know that the Tower is a big card. It signifies a big transition. And also, please drop an emoji in the comment section if you drew this card last week when I did my Herbal Tarot read. Because if you chose this card last week and then you're also choosing it this week, this is a major, possibly the biggest time in your life ever. Because, like I said, the Tower is a big, powerful card. The Tower of Power. And as we know, garlic is a really strong stimulant. We already talked about this last week, about how garlic is it's very good for you. It's very aromatic. Obviously, it's a carminative. It is an emmenagogue, which means it brings blood flow to the reproductive organs. It's a superfood, essentially. Oh my gosh. So Maria, she chose the Tower. What is going on in your life right now that the Tower keeps coming up? Don't fear the Tower. You guys have heard that song, Don't Fear the Reaper. Don't fear the Tower. The Tower is actually, I mentioned this last time I pulled it, it is a sign of good things coming. So it's symbolically used for personal breakthroughs in relationships, becoming more attentive to others, more tolerance, more flexibility, and its divinatory meanings are being knocked off of one's position of arrogance, making humble, preparing the way for true realization, awakening to the truth. So for those of you who got the Tower again, it's repeating in your life for a reason, and it's just reminding you to continue to surrender the ego. Remember, the ego has a very powerful role in our lives. It essentially keeps us alive and, keeps us going day to day, operating in our fight or flight operations, but also can sometimes get in our way in life, and it can keep us from becoming our greatest version and for reaching our wishes fulfilled lives. So finding the balance of the ego can really be beneficial for those of you who chose card number 2 today, it seems to me, because continuing to receive this with big things and big changes coming through in your life, the more you can step into your light and try to be your higher self, the higher the gifts that the universe will bring you. So Maria Christina got hit in the head by a student, and she has cognitive and physical delays. Wow. Well, some healing vibes for you, Maria. And if this is your card and you're getting the Tower twice in a couple of weeks, it's a good thing. A good time to maybe ask your guides if there is more symbolism to this, and if maybe it's, a big transition is coming your way. Cheryl's doing a 4th step, her daughter trying to fix that relationship. So yeah, if you chose this card twice in a row, Cheryl, again, big transition. So the big message is to continue to work on surrendering the ego, or using the ego to work for you and not the other way around. So if you can, utilize it to help you recognize when things are not right in your life, or, anything like that. But also not allowing it to interfere in your relationships, or have, make you alienate yourself from people or anything like that. Big message coming through for you guys. I want to keep the fire roaring with the sage underneath you guys, and I forgot to bring over some fire, because you know how the Pisces, with her fire retardant ways. But I hope that is as exciting to you all who received this message for the 2nd week in a row, the Tower. Own this card, because it's telling you that you are so close and the power is right in your hands, just like it always is for everybody else. But for those of you who keep choosing this card specifically, or for those of you who have chosen it for the first time tonight, you are at the doorstep of something big, something life-changing, like a shift in your life. So, and I just got a chill when I said that. Amazing, you guys. So congratulations on having gotten another really powerful card. For those of you who chose card number 2. Ooh, look at the fire now. Yay! Oh my gosh, Maria Christina, I can't wait for you and I to trade reads. I have 3 decks now and growing. I want to get more decks. I want a fairy deck next. Fairy deck next. For those of you who chose card number 3, you're in good company, because so did I. Rose quartz is my jam. This is probably my favorite crystal. So card number 3 choosers are potentially another repeat card, because you chose mistletoe. And this is another repeat from last week. And I have to say, these are 72 card decks. These are not small decks. These are, and I'm shuffling good. So and none of these, they're pristine. None of these are bent. So this is divine, that we're continuing to get repeat cards, and the group that attends these lives is still small enough that I do feel like it's significant, as in these are specific messages for specific individuals, and it's powerful. Enjoy this while it lasts, you guys, because eventually these videos are going to blow up, and there's going to be a lot more people attending. So right now these messages are specifically for you, especially those who are getting the repeats. So if you chose mistletoe last week, yeah, this is exciting. If you chose mistletoe last week and you're getting it again this week, let me see an emoji in the comment section. Card number 2, mistletoe. And then let's see what this message is that continues to come through. And I know that there's a message here for me as well, because this was the card that I chose. So just a little extra. Hi, Shirley. So Shirley, if you didn't choose a card and you're just coming in right now, you get card number 3 as well, because we're on card number 3, mistletoe. So I do this for the purpose of editing the video. If I go off on a tangent, I show the crystal again and start doing the read. So for card number 3, the rose quartz, you chose mistletoe. Mistletoe, just like last week, European mistletoe, because American mistletoe is poisonous. So it's a nervine, an antispasmodic. It regulates blood pressure, treats cancer, and calms the nervous system. The divinatory meanings are realization of defeat, need to regain composure and inner peace after the fray. Realization that there are no winners in war. So now, do you guys remember this card from last week, the no winners in war? I get this message over and over and over and over again in my life. So I know that those of us who chose card number 3, it's a message that keeps coming up, that if you find yourself engaged in battles or wars, just always remember to take yourself back to the question of, is there really a winner here, and are there winners in war? And that's always been a saying that I've encouraged a lot of my clients to meditate on, even, that there are no winners in war. And just be careful of the battles that you engage in. I always say, like, choose your battles wisely. A lot of times you need to manage your expectations for people in your life, and that's what I'm getting specifically for those of us who chose card number 3 tonight, is that there's a battle or a war that we're like continuing to engage in over and over and over again, and it's sort of like the whole insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. So what I'm getting, and I don't know if this is maybe for me as well, is the battle's over. Nobody's won, because there are no winners in war. And so it's time to stop engaging in the behavior that's keeping you engaging in these wars and battles, because you won't fully win until you stop fighting. And that's the message that I'm getting pretty clear coming through for those of us who chose card number 3. And like Christy says, just let it go. Let's meditate on that one. Just let it go. It's gone after that one. Yeah, just let it go. And you know what? You find that you are the one who wins, because it's not about, beating. And trust me, this is coming from somebody who played competitive sports for a long, long time. I know Christy and I played together, so we both know how competitive we can be. But competition has its place, and if it's in a place right now where you're losing sleep over it, or you're losing your peace over it, it definitely is time for you to let it go. So I give you permission right now to let go of anything that's not serving you, and I give you permission to stop engaging in these battles. And I promise that if you guys do your best, I'm going to do my best to do it as well, because like I said, I chose card number 3, so obviously this message is coming through for me as well. I'm going to take the gloves off and I'm going to sit in the corner and drink some water and, just plan my next move. So, yay, Christy. And Jess, yep, Jessica, you chose this one as well. So, beautiful messages that came through for you guys. And now I want to shift gears just real quickly for the last couple of minutes of the live. My cat must have just done something in the litter box because now she's running around like a mad woman. Come over here. Come say hi. Come here, mommy. She's running around like a crazy woman. You know how they do. Like, they go into the litter box and then they do their biz, and then all of a sudden they're running around all crazy. Will you come over here and say hi? Jessica's here. Jessica's here, bossy girl. All right, you guys. So a couple of you have had questions over the past couple of weeks about just spiritual awakening in general and what it means. And a lot of people have been coming up to me displaying symptoms of a spiritual awakening. A couple of those include ascension headaches, pressure on their head, cluster headaches. A lot of people feel heavy pressure on their chest. I know a lot of you guys have told me that you feel like your chest is tightening up, like you have pressure. And there are a lot of energies. We talk about this all the time. Energy is everything. That all of us are just a bunch of atoms hitting each other and bouncing off of each other. And so a lot of my clients are experiencing the tug and pull of other people's energies and just the downward push of the matrix in general. A lot of us believe that we're not currently reaching our fullest potential as cosmic human beings, in large part due to programming that's out in the environment that we're in. So a lot of people who are starting to awaken to their own spiritual truth are starting to experience symptoms of this, just like bad moods, not feeling well, confusion, and they're not really sure how to protect themselves, spiritually. A lot of times when we go out into spaces or like out in traffic, or in my case, like out to work at the gym, where there's a lot of people with all a bunch of different energies. They're coming from all of these different walks of life, and they're bringing their vibes around. And depending on how sensitive you are to these vibes, you can get sick from them. Just like you would catch a cold from somebody sneezing in your face, you can catch a low spiritual vibe that will attach to you and sort of feed off of your energy by somebody yelling in your face or acting like an asshole around you, or unloading all of their problems on you. A spiritual drive-by where they tell you everything that's going wrong in their life, and then have disregard any of your problems or feelings in general. So then you go home and you just feel terrible and you don't understand why you just can't find your sparkle. And a lot of times it's just because you've gotten sick. You've picked up a bug from somebody spiritually. And so what do you do about it? And how do you keep it from happening? I could write a book on that, and maybe I will someday, but I wanted to give you guys just a little, everybody's saying, hi, Boston. Boston, Jessica, and Kathy said hi. So I wanted to give you guys just a couple of sort of basic routines that you can do in order to keep yourself protected spiritually. And if you do feel like you have the symptoms of a spiritual illness, how to cleanse that. So my number one question that I ask people is, do you pray, or do you have any sort of faith whatsoever, other than just we're here by some coincidence and we were born and we die? If they believe that, then I can't really help them. But if they think that there's, a creator or a higher power or angels or anything like that at all, or even if they have an inkling of that, I say, well, the first thing that I would encourage you to start doing is reaching out to them via prayer or journaling or something like that, as far as what it is that you want. And especially writing this down can be very powerful, because that creates a contract with the universe that you are conscious of. So I want spiritual protection. I want to learn how to protect my vibe. I want to learn how to raise my vibration. I want to learn how to stay in a high vibration state longer and to, deflect other people's energies. Just declaring your intention to the universe, I promise you, will start to bring the answers your way. So once you put that down on paper, that's going to be in your head. You've written it down. It's a spell. That's why they call it spelling, because you're using your words to create a spell. So you've written down your intention. That is going to protect you multiple fold than if you hadn't even sat down, thought about it, and written it down. So already by writing down your intention to be spiritually protected, you will become spiritually protected, because whatever entities are inevitably within your energy fields that are of a high vibration are there waiting for you to create that pact with them. But this is a free will universe, so you have to make that declaration. So that's why I tell you guys, when I make the post for the tarot, make sure you comment which is your card, because then you are making your contract with the universe, and you're going to get the more powerful message. That's just the way that it works. So number one is the declaration. From there, I like to create a decree or some kind of affirmation that is going to strengthen the intention. And then you say it, or you can sing it. I love to sing. So any number of different decrees, going from, what are some that I like to do? I like to sing to my angels and spirit guides. Please clothe me and protect me. God's white light. Anything like that, that you can get into, that you believe in, that you can sing over and over again, as long as you're tapping into that conscious, the intention, the energetic intention. So with everybody, it's going to be a little bit different if it's writing poetry and reading it over and over again. But that is what a decree is, or that is what an affirmation is. You are calling in your spiritual protection. I encourage you to look into archangels and see if that resonates with you. So using your words, that's going to start to build the environment where you are declaring, now this is me, I am, is a very powerful statement. So getting into I am affirmations is identifying what your intention is and who you are in this universe. I am all powerful. I am intending to spread nothing but love today. I am in an impenetrable force field of love and shining light through which no negative energy could even possibly penetrate. Anything that comes to you, and if you can channel, that really helps. So now bringing in material relics to help, not only to raise your vibration, but also to remind you of what your declarations and your decrees are. I like to use jewelry and crystals. Also, these are programmable. So a lot of us who wear watches, quartz watches, crystals and quartz store energy. Material science, we've been using crystals and quartz in material science for decades now. There's no question or doubt about the fact that we can store these energies. So when I do my decrees and my declarations and my prayers, I make sure that I consciously involve all of the crystals that I want to help me deliver this throughout my day, because I'm a human. I'm going out into the matrix. It's a fucking battlefield out there. Like, we need to have our armor. We need to have our shing, as we call it. We got to shing up. So for me, these relics will help. Some people just need something inside their pocket, it's just a little, a bracelet. This beautiful tiger eye bracelet from my niece Jessica is a wonderful reminder for all of my solar plexus decrees. So bringing some crystals into your life. Now, some of you all had asked, what are the best crystals to use for spiritual protection and cleansing? So I brought over a couple of my favorites. Number one was actually represented by the stone used for card number 2, which is selenite. And I love selenite so much, and I brought over my big, huge, Big Bertha wand to charge you guys up at the beginning of the show, because selenite is a very benevolent, powerful filtering agent for energy. And it's cleansed by a different sometimes different means, because selenite a lot of times is brittle and will take on water, so you might not necessarily want to cleanse it with water, but it's easily cleansed with smoke. So like right now I can cleanse it with the sage smoke that I have going right here. This is like a spiritual sword. So with the proper intention and the proper administering, this can really remove a lot of negative energy. I've used selenite to those, earlier we were talking about a feeling of heaviness on the chest. Selenite is amazing for just detaching that. It's really good for ethereal cord cuts. If you have somebody who is leeching your energy, who, either through like text messages or just through gossip or something like that, or you can even just, if you're highly energetically intuitive, you can just feel their hatred for you. You can use selenite for an ethereal cord cut during a ceremony for that as well. Highly effective. So Kathy loves her selenite. And yeah, Jess, I love my tiger eye so much. So selenite, super, super powerful. I would recommend getting your hands on some selenite if you're new to crystals, because that's going to be a great one for detaching negative energies. I sleep with selenite all around me as well, because it's really good for protecting you in your dreams, of psychic protection in your dreams. I also wanted to talk to you this evening about citrine, because this is another good starter crystal. Citrine is great for so many reasons. For one, it will charge other crystals. So if you leave, say for example, this smoky quartz next to the citrine, it will pick up the charge from the citrine. Also, citrine actually never needs to charge. It has its own universal charge. So whereas like the other ones that I put out in the moon or the sun to charge, I still put my citrine out to strengthen it. But the nature of citrine is that they are a universal charger and they hold the charge. They will also elevate the mood and sort of bleach out any of the negative energies around you. So whereas the selenite is used for actual more like detachment and sort of like sloughing off energies, the citrine you can think of more as like an energy elevator. So this can probably, well, both will transmute, but citrine is really good for transmuting energies and bringing them up. So looking into getting a citrine, also known as the merchant stone, citrine has been known to bring about abundance, especially financial abundance. So look into getting your hands on citrine if you guys are interested in protecting your aura. And also citrine is very powerful in boosting the aura. Think of it as like a lemony, you know, a nice citrusy, like when you sniff a lemon, it kind of like lifts the mood. Citrine is sort of like the lemon of the crystal family. So, and now finally I wanted to talk to you guys. I could talk all night about like rose quartz, but I wanted to highlight these three as far as starter crystals, just for those of you who are concerned with the integrity of your aura and protecting your energy. So smoky quartz is a wonderful, really, really powerful, useful quartz, very benevolent stone, and it's mutable and it's super neutral. So it will bring a low mood up, and it'll bring maybe like something that's too high back down. So if you have a tendency toward mania or depression, and I'm not laughing because that's funny, but hey, some of us do. then this could be the prescription for you. Smoky quartz, like I said, it's going to bring everything into like a nice harmonious balance. So if you're starting out in crystals, three that I would recommend getting into your collection: your selenite, really good for detaching negative energies, protection and deflection of negative energies, as well as raising and boosting the aura, shining it up for sure. Citrine, super perky, beautiful, delicious lemony yellow for boosting, shining, and strengthening the aura. And then smoky quartz, it's medium protective. On the scale of psychic protection, this one out of a 1 to 10 would probably be about like a 6.5. Whereas something like an onyx, something dark black, what do I have over here? I've got this obsidian needle. Here's another, this is a more brown root chakra obsidian. These are going to have a higher level of psychic protection. Black tourmaline would be like a 9, but this smoky quartz is one that will make friends of your enemies. So get your hands on some smoky quartz, get your hands on some selenite, some citrine. Thank you guys, baby beautiful earthlings, so much for being here tonight. I love you guys so much. Boston's down here licking her bits. She says goodnight. She bids you all adieu. You guys are amazing, wonderful, beautiful beings, and I'm really glad for those of you who are having wonderful messages come through. I hope you guys have the best week ever. I'll be back for you later on this week for another read. Thank you guys so much. I enjoy you guys just as much, Lori and Cheryl. Thank you so much for all that you do. Jessica, I love you. You guys are amazing, beautiful earthlings. And just always keep your heads high. Know that this world needs you. You're super special and you are the best.